Hi guys, this is an inbox review of the Russian KV1 main battle tank. This model is depicted as the heavy cast turret version of 1942, which was the early part of the Russian campaign. I chose this tank chiefly basically because I haven't got a lot of Russian armour, to be honest with you, and it was one of the main battle tanks that was used in the Battle of Kursk. And having watched Mike Cohen's previous build on it, it basically inspired me to go out and get one myself. And I thought the best one to go for would be Trumpeter, having seen some of their previous kits. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with his inbox review. I don't know a lot about the history of the KV1, so I can't give you a general background, unfortunately. But if you want to look it up on Wikipedia, by all means do so. Alright? As you can see, this is actually depicted as a winter scene with the crew actually loading the tank itself before moving on to the main assault. And the colour scheme of this tank is quite interesting, and that's one of the reasons I actually chose it as well, as opposed to the normal sort of green, Russian green colour scheme. Anyway, let's have a little look at what's on the side of the box. As you can see here, you've got basic colour call-outs, as you can see, of how the actual kit will be painted, and it's interesting to note the weathering features on it as well, so yeah, that will come in handy. On the side of the box you've got the illustration again, and the kit number on this one, in case you're interested in getting hold of one, is 00359. That's 00359. Okay. And then you've got some views of the actual kit as it is assembled, okay, and painted. Right, and then there's a little bit about the actual tank itself, okay. It's quite a big box, as you can see, and we'll just open up and see what's inside. First off, you've got the instruction sheet with a side view of the actual KV1 itself, and interesting to note is also in Chinese as well as English, because obviously this is a Chinese kit. And a nice touch is this colour plan view of the actual tank itself, so that will come in handy for when I'm actually painting the kit and also weathering it. It looks as though it's actually got a sort of a whitewash on it, so that's going to be an interesting thing to paint when I actually get around to building it. When I'm going to do it, I have no idea. Right. Again, first off, you've got the sprue trees which are in the instructions, just to make sure you've got all the kit parts, that's including the rubber tracks. You do have the alternate version of having a normal moulded plastic track, which is what I might well go for. Right, let's have a look. Stage 1 is again a little bit of a sprue tree of the actual top of the hull and the side of the hull, as well as the actual turret. Interestingly, on the first stage of the actual build, it's actually the assembly of the hull itself. You've also got the front grille there with the grille that goes behind the back of the tank, I think. And interesting to note that it says clear red. There we go, it must be one of the back headlights. And the main assembly is the actual hull itself. Then on to stage 2 is the assembly of the upper hull and added to the lower hull, and then obviously the suspension is added, okay. And then you've got the suspension gear added to the tank again, as well as the turret ring and the back grille. Okay. Stage 3, if I can find it, if you'll bear with me. Oh, let me have a look here, because it isn't running to plan. Oh yeah, that was stage 3. Sorry. Just having a bit of a blonde moment then. Oh dear, I don't know. There's no deference to blondes, but anyway, there you go. Stage 4 is again the application of more of the actual suspension gear, and then obviously the hatches and the engine grills. Okay. And stage 5, interestingly, is the assembly of the running gear, or the sprockets as they are known. Okay. And then this is actually showing you how the plastic assembly of the track actually goes. So that's going to save a lot on these horrible rubber tracks, which I don't think I will go with. And then obviously you assemble all the running gear, the actual machine gun turret at the front of the tank, engine hatch and the sprockets. And then obviously this is the other side, as you can see here. And then stage 9 is the alternate application of the actual plastic tracks. Now interestingly, I've actually got the sag on them as well, which I prefer, so I may well go with those. Okay. Then you got the assembly of the side plates, which actually go onto the hull of the tank. And then it's the assembly of the actual turret itself. There we go, as you can see, and then obviously all the accoutrements go to the front, and the housing for the back machine gun, which is at the back of the turret, interestingly. And then you've actually got the assembly of the tow bar. Now apparently it's made up of string and 2 bits of the kit itself. Not easy, so I might well go for an aftermarket one. Then it's the assembly of the actual barrel and the barrel housing to the turret. Now I'm going to have a look at this myself. I may go for an aftermarket metal barrel, I don't know, but we'll see. And then obviously you come into the final stages of the assembly. It's the application of the spare tracks to the upper hull, and the, I don't know what those are on the side. I think it's something to do with the turret ring, I'm not sure. And then the final stage of the assembly is the application of the 2 tow bars, the tow handles, and then the turret to the main hull itself. Okay. So that is the instruction sheet. Seems quite simple and an easy kit to assemble. And let's go into the most interesting part of the kit, the actual kit and what's inside it itself. This is the actual lower hull, as you can see here. Not a lot of detail, to be honest, which I'm a bit surprised about, considering the last 2 Trumpeter kits I actually reviewed. But there you go. Then we're moving on to the upper part of the hull, as you can see here. Okay. Now the interesting thing is they've actually caught where the actual weld seam is, if you can catch it there. And again, a nice touch is the texturing on the actual hull itself, which will come up lovely with a wash, especially as it's a whitewash scheme. Okay. Then you've got the sprockets here. Again, quite a nice level of detail, as you can see, so that will come up nice with a wash. Then you've got the grab hand, you've got the tow handles there, more of the running gear, then suspension arms, the front of the hull. As you can see, it's a nice texture effect again, which is rather nice. Okay, so that's that. Then we've got the side plates, which are the side of the hull, as you can see here. Again, I've got a nice touch with the old detail and the texturing. That's a lovely touch, so that's going to be exquisite under a wash, especially with the weathering as well, because I'm going to make it look nice and muddy, obviously because it's in the middle of the Russian winter. Okay, and then obviously the next sprue is for the parts of the running gear and the suspension arms, which you can see here. And also you've got the front of the actual barrel housing. Now that's beautifully welded. I love the look of that. And then there's the spare tracks, beautifully cast, as you can see there. So that looked nice with a bit of weathering. Okay, and then you've got the suspension arms. Excuse, that's my housemates again. Okay, and then I think this is part of the actual turret hatch, or one of the hatches, I'm not sure. Again, there's a nice texture on there as well, which is rather nice. And then basically you've got the plugs here for all this is the running gear. Okay, and to the side you've got them. Rather, you've got those plastic tracks, which I'm not going to be using, although they do look rather nice, I must admit, with the detail on them. Very nice. This is the actual plastic running gear, and as you can make out here, they've actually caught the sag. Again, the level of detail on them is superb. I really like this. If I can get it in the focus, there you go, you can see, and that will come up nice with a wash again, all dry brushed when weathered. Okay, and then you've got these separate links there for the sides. Okay, here are the engine grills, as you can see here, and the turret ring, as well as other parts of the actual kit. And this is the actual turret. Now I'm going to take this out of the bag so we can have a closer look at this. Here we go. Again, you've got beautiful texturing of the cast of the heavy cast turret, which was a major feature of the KV1 that I've got here. Again, I like the way they've done the weld seams around the side of the turret. Very, very nice. Okay, and then obviously you've got this for the tow arms. Okay, here are the decals, which look rather nice. There's not a lot of detail on them, I have to say. A little bit on the shiny side, so that does give me a little bit of cause for concern. Yeah, not too keen on that. Anyway, that is the Trumpeter KV1 with a heavy cast turret. And it does look a superb kit. Looks fairly easy to put together, I have to say. And when I'm going to build it, I don't know. I might do it in a future group build, possibly, or just do it for myself. But as I say, I snapped this one up, I think, for around about £24 on eBay. But a nice kit, I have to say. And I'm sure you'll agree with me. If you can buy out and buy one, in fact do go out and buy one, because trumpeter kits usually are pretty good. Anyway, that's the end of the review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe. If not a problem. I don't have an issue with that. I'm not looking to be an egotistic or anything like that. All I'm looking to do is just share the hobby with all you fellow modelers. Okay? Anyway, that's it for now, and as I always say, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll see you on the next video, which will be an update on my Tiger build for the Mike Cohen tribute build. When I'm going to do that, I don't know, because obviously I'm going back to work now, so I may not have as much time on my hands. But rest assured, I'll give you a further update as and when. Until then, happy modelling, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.